With the opening scene setting the tone for the Scream movies, who will be in the opening sequence for Scream 7?
Your lemon squares taste like ass.
Welcome to another Ice Cream Sunday where I dedicate an entire day to my favourite franchise Scream. My name is Em, aka Horror, and in today's video I will be presenting 3 characters in the Scream franchise who could possibly return for the opening kill or attack. I will give 3 reasons for each character as to why I think they would make a good opening kill and what impact this would have on the storyline. So grab yourself a medium popcorn, no butter, and a small Diet Pepsi and let's get into it. Firstly, I am going to say what I feel is needed for the opening scene of Scream 7. It needs to mean something, and I don't just mean something for the characters, it needs to mean something for the audience. We need to feel the impact. It needs to contribute to the story, so we need something that's going to be continuous throughout and that is going to affect what happens later on. And it needs substance, something that is going to grip us straight away and keep our attention. All of the above could work really well if a returning character is brought in for the opening scene. According to sources, Sidney is going to be more vulnerable than we have seen her for a while, so the opening kill or attack needs to have some sort of an effect on her. So who could they bring back for the opening? First of all, I will talk about the possibility of the return of Kirby Reed. Although she's a very popular character and there are rumours of a Kirby spin-off, I do have 3 reasons. First one being that she works for the FBI. In Scream 6, we saw her return as Agent Kirby Reed, who had taken a special interest in Ghostface killings and who'd been watching Jason and Greg's activities for a while. This shows that she is very good in her role, posing as a possible threat for future killers who don the Ghostface mask. She would have access to files of previous killers and may have some information which she is not allowed to disclose, putting her in the target line for future attacks. There have been recent rumours of a spin-off of focusing on Kirby and her work, which would fit in well with the opening attack idea. My second reason is because of her relationship with Sidney. It may not be the strongest, but she does have some sort of a relationship with Sidney, and they have both gone through similar traumas. As with anyone who has a connection to Sidney and the Ghostface attacks, this could pose as a risk factor in how safe Kirby may be. Anyone who could possibly be targeted to send a message to Sidney has the chance of being attacked, but with Kirby's line of work, she may be at more risk than others. The third reason for Kirby is that she is a survivor. She has survived previous attacks as seen in Scream 4 and Scream 6. This gives any Ghostface killer a reason to go after her, especially if she places herself in such a situation as looking into the attacks or putting herself in the company of those who are the main targets. She already has physical wounds, and what she has been through has more than likely caused some mental and emotional trauma, meaning if she were completely caught off guard, such as in an opening sequence, she is more vulnerable and susceptible to the attack. Another character that could fit the criteria is Martha Meeks. My first reason to support this is Martha's connections. She is, as we know, Mindy and Chad's mom, and of course Randy's sister. She is also friends with Sidney and Gail and was friends with Dewey when he was alive. Although we did not see this, she would have witnessed Stu and Billy's killing spree and would remember the events which took place well, especially as her brother later went on to die at the hands of Mrs. Loomis. Her connections run deep throughout the franchise, and it could be a great way to link the previous installments in with the new, and would also have an effect on Sidney. My second reason for Martha is Woodsboro. As far as we are aware, she still lives in Woodsboro and has most likely been in the area whilst most, if not all, of the Ghostface killings have taken place. She has her roots deep in the town, and to kill someone who remains in Woodsboro would be a message Sidney would receive. It's where it all started and could be a way to try and entice Sidney to once again return. It would also send out signals that this is not a meaningless kill, but one that is linked to the previous killings. My third reason for Martha would be Sidney. As with Kirby, she has, or at least had, a relationship with Sidney. She has previously helped Sidney prepare for what may come next by showing her Randy's video, which deems her an ally who is willing to provide support. With her children being targets of Ghostface in the past, she would be determined more than ever to assist where she can, posing as a threat to any killer. She may not have had as much screen time as other characters, but the role she has played assisting has had an influence on how Ghostface's main targets can plan for their next steps. The final character I will be discussing is Neil Prescott. I actually discussed this with my friend Shay Rance a couple of weeks ago in a video where we were talking about Scream 7 theories, so if you do want to go and check that out, the link will be down in the description. There are a few reasons why I think Neil would be a really good opening kill, and the first one being Sidney. You will have noticed that Sidney has come up in every character I have discussed. This would be because if we are going to see Sidney as being more vulnerable, the opening kill really needs to affect her. Other than Mark and her children, no one's death would devastate Sidney more than her father's. We've not seen Neil since Scream 3, and although there was a deleted scene for Scream 4 saying that Neil died, this is not canon. His death would really hit Sidney in a different way, and to have him as an opening kill would be one of the most effective opening kills we have seen. My second reason for Neil is Maureen. Hers was the murder that started it all, leaving Neil and Sidney to deal with the aftermath of not only her death, but the actions she took in life. It's quite possible that Neil may be targeted again due to Maureen's actions. It's a way to link into the killer's potential motive, but also once again sends a message to Sidney that her mother's actions have not been forgotten. Maureen had a secretive past, and we may not have seen the entirety of what her life looked like behind closed doors. My third and final reason for Neil is the impact. Neil's death would certainly have a huge impact on the characters, the storyline and the audience, feeling nostalgic, fresh and meaningful. It would certainly set up everything for the rest of the movie and not be a meaningless scene with no weight behind it. It would also be one of the most emotionally invasive kills for Sidney, as both of her parents would have met a similar end, striking up the old feelings she felt when her mother died, adding new emotions of anxiety and worry for her family's safety. For me, a returning character being the opening kill, which would change Sidney's course of thinking and way of living, would be the best possible way to go. It would establish a particular mood for the remainder of the film and would not see a meaningless character's demise, which adds nothing to the story, a bit like we've seen in previous installments. Of course, they may go down the opening attack route like in 5, but with this not leaving as much of an impact on the characters, I hope they don't follow that path and that they make an opening kill which will have a good lasting impression. So as always, what do you guys think? Who would you like to see in the opening scene? Do you want a returning character or someone new? Let me know down in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe as I do upload more content like this. You can check out my other content here. With that being said, I will see you in the next video.